Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. As you can see behind me, shortly after 7 o'clock this morning, a passerby walked into Fire Station 8, which is about a block away from where this occupancy is, to alert our personnel that there was smoke coming out of the building. Our personnel arrived about 2 minutes later with a large volume of smoke coming out of all 4 of the occupancies. As you can see behind me, this is 4 occupancies underneath of 1 roof. Upon their arrival, they immediately struck a second alarm. Our personnel operated inside trying to knock down the fire for about 20 minutes. Then we had a dramatic change in the fire conditions that warranted us to pull our personnel out while we maintained a defensive attack on the building. We have the fire under control at this point. Unknown of the origin, our fire marshals will start their investigation once we're able to knock down the remaining part of the fire. The best we can tell right now is that we have a gas leak that is leading to some of this fire that you still is continuing. It's a gas-fed fire in one of the occupancies. Washington Gas is working right now to identify where one of the last mains are so that we can shut that down and then continue with the extinguishment efforts. We'll probably be here for an extended period of time and have Columbia Pike shut down for a bit. And then cause and origin, as I mentioned, we will not start that until once we get the fire knocked down and our person we can allow the fire marshals to go inside the structure and conduct their investigation.
Gotcha. So is it likely a total loss for all of these businesses?
Well, we had a catastrophic collapse in 2 of them, so I'd venture to say yes, because as you can see, there's a lot of the HVAC, the air conditioning units all on the roof. It's an extremely heavy load on the roof, and for as long as that was burning, that is now collapsed into the structure, so I would venture to say yes, it would be.
Which 2 buildings did it collapse?
On the restaurant on the parking lot side, and then the structure on this side.
Any chemicals or anything like that? There's a gas salon and a couple restaurants.
Yeah, not that we have found. It appears the occupancies were mostly restaurants. As I said, there's 4 occupancies, the best we can tell, underneath that 1 roof. And then so that they have 4 different gas mains, but one of the gas mains that we're trying to track down, we have to go through the street to get to it.
You said it won't be affecting anybody else's gas service?
No, not that we can tell. The Washington Gas will be able to tell us definitively, but right now it doesn't look that way.
You said it's likely a gas leak. What indicates that it is likely a gas leak?
We don't know if it's a gas leak, that it was a causation. It's more of because this fire is burning for a duration, gas lines can burn through, so you have gas that is in the structure. So we typically will cut off the gas from the outside if we can find the gas mains. This one last gas main appears to be in the street level, which we cannot get access to, and that's why Washington Gas is here working through trying to dig up the street to find the main to cut it off. These older buildings, the gas mains can be in different locations.
So it is pretty loud, so I apologize if I didn't hear. So do you guys have a guess of what the cause was?
No, we have no idea at this point. The fire marshals will start their investigation once we have this knocked down and we have all the fire and smoke removed from the structure so they can go inside and start the investigation. So right now we really have no idea what the cause and origin was.
How many companies and how many firefighters in here right now?
We have 2 alarms plus some special calls. So that would be just around over 100 firefighters from the city of Alexandria and mostly Fairfax County and Fairfax City.
And I'm seeing Annandale there as well.
Annandale is part of Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department.
Anything that people should be worried about, especially that it was a passerby that saw that there was smoke coming out of the building?
No, we appreciate that. I mean, obviously, because of the proximity of the firehouse being about 30 feet away from where the structure were, they immediately came to the firehouse and alerted our personnel before they called 911. But that's the immediate how we got notified of the fire.
Gotcha. And then any injuries?
No injuries reported as of yet.
Gotcha.
Any reflections on the fact that this happened on a Sunday and it perhaps could have been worse if this was some Tuesday morning with people inside?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we appreciate that it's on Sunday and the occupancies were closed, so there's less probability of injury to any of our civilians. But it's always improbable to speculate on, how bad or worse it could be during the day.
Do you have any estimate of potentially when the fire marshals could come out with?
Why the what?
Any speculation on when the fire marshals could come out with the cause?
They're here already, but they can't go into that structure until we put the fire out completely, and then we make an assessment and make sure it's safe for them to go inside. As I mentioned, we had during the course of the fire 2 catastrophic collapses, which was mostly of the material on the roof. The heavy load that's on the roof collapsed down into the occupancies.
Gotcha. Anything else? Yep. Holy goodness.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys. All right, thank you guys.
Sir,
Yeah.
just take down the name, please.
Dan Shaw, S-H-A-W.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
And then D-A-N, common spelling.
Yeah. And then Assistant Chief of Operations.
I have terrible hair. So when you said the likely cause, so you were just saying.
Well, not likely cause. Is what happens is, all these older buildings, when they build these and the occupancies change, they have gas